अब
Hi, Devjyoti. Good evening. How are you?
all fine.
So today, Devjyoti, give some tips on body languages because this is very much required for candidates who are appearing for an interview. And if they, I think, keep in mind the importance of body language, I think they can do fairly well in the interview. Yeah.
Yeah, Shurajit, thank you so much asking a very important question for an interview because body language matters a lot. It can communicate so much that interviewer can definitely pay attention to you. So I have taken just 8 tips for the interview for of the body language. I'm sure it will be very helpful for most of the interviewer, most of the interviewees who are going for interviews. And one of the most important part is that he has to make a very solid first impression. Because when you enter office and connect with the receptionist or executive, whosoever is there, you have to show a confidence there itself. So it speaks about that because your interviewer in the room having a CCTV camera or take a feedback from the time you have entered the office. So it matters a lot. I'm sure you will think that to show the confidence once you enter the office, at the same time enter the office of your interviewer with a very solid handshake and show your confidence. This impression will remain for lasting one. And another very important, the second one, it sounds different, but think twice before you wear a new shoes. Because new wardrobes, what it does is that many times it disturb your basic movement. Become very conscious. It may give you some pinching because you're not habitual to about it. So with it get fidget, and at the same time, you get disturbed with this. So your confidence get loose. So be aware of this. Even if you wear the new one, you should be comfortable with this. And third very important part is that you make eye contact because eye contact matters a lot. It showcases your confidence in yourself and in your answer. Many a time you have a wrong answer, but your eye contact is very strong with the interviewer. This speaks that you have you're confident about your answer. But even with your good answer, if you really show your eyes here than all, it shows that there's no confidence some other way you came to know about this. So avoid looking around room, looking down, your watch and all, this is very, very important. Another thing is that be responsive and listen to understand. Now, this you will ask me, what is the meaning of listen to understand? Because there's a big gap between hearing and listening. Listening is a very big art of communication. So whatever questions you are asked, you should listen very consciously so that you're able to answer correctly. So this is one which will help you throughout the interview. And now I just want Shurajit that the rest of the slides will you take and just tell what are the postures people should remember and all.
Yeah, thank you, Devjyoti. I think you have rightly expressed the importance of body language. 4 points. Number one, when you're entering into the premises, keep a good eye contact with the receptionist and show your confidence. Second, you are given the whenever you're wearing new shoes, so be careful that your shoes should be comfortable enough. It should not disturb your walking. And third thing, the making eye contact during the interview. The more good will be the eye contact, the interviewer will think that the candidate is really very confident. So maintaining eye contact is very much important. Now, the fifth point, which is important, is remember your posture. So throughout the interview, you have to maintain your posture like that it shows that the guy is very confident while answering each and every question, because your body sometimes speaks much more than your words. It expresses, like you express through your eyes or through your facial expression, body also expresses whenever you give an answer. So that is very much important. So, as very rightly said by eminent psychologist Yonet, that posture is the first clue and impacts the way we are heard, regardless of how great our stories are. So, maintaining posture will be very much important during the interview. Next is be mindful of your hands. Friends, it comes naturally when you're talking to someone, your hands movement starts because it may be in your habit that the hands moves on. But don't be very conscious about that. That too much of hand movement should not be the only thing you keep in mind. Otherwise, a little bit of hand movements doesn't matter. So feel free to use your hand and communicate effectively and genuinely. The main important thing is that you communicate effectively so that and clarity with clarity. That is more important. And next, exit strong. So this is very, very important. As you have entered into the interview chamber with confidence, in the same way you exit from the interview chamber, regardless of how the interviews went. You don't don't think of the if you have given the answer rightly or not, and don't brood over those during the interview time what you have said. Just walk out confidently with keeping in your mind that I have done the best which I can. So in that way, if you move out from the interview chamber, it will give a good impression to the interview. I think if these tips are remembered, it will help a lot to you. And lastly, practice. Friends, practice makes the man perfect, is said. So the more you practice for the interview, the more you will become very, very natural while talking to the interviewer. Because your flow will maintain, you will talk to your interviewer. There will be no disturbance, no hindrance while talking. So practice as many times as you can in front of the mirror or in front of a person who you know very well. That will help you a lot to make your friends. So I think
Very rightly said.
tips.
Yeah, very rightly said. Because these are the things can only done without practice. You cannot make it. So thank you, friends.
Right.
Thank you, Shurajit. And I'm
Right.
sure this tip will help a lot.